We're taking this and we are just dipping it into our water. You can see how it curls. Now, one thing I do love about this Waterslide decal paper is the fact that it kind of takes on the actual shape of this tile. This is our finished product. How stinking cute. Okay, for the last 2 Christmases, we have posted a reel of a coaster with a pretty little Christmas tree on it that has gone viral each and every year we post it, where we take a travertine tile that you can get at your local Lowe's, Home Depot, wherever, and Waterslide decal, and we make the cutest little coaster. So we are going to give you a full tutorial in case you forgot how to do it so that you can make customized Waterslide decal coasters that are personalized to whatever you want. So if you're ready to learn exactly how to do this, make sure you stick around. If you are new here, my name is Lauren and I'm a craft producer here at Makers Gonna Learn, where we strive to bring you inspiration, education, and motivation to get crafty, whether that is with your Cricut, sublimation printer, whatever it may be. We do all kinds of things here at Makers Gonna Learn. And today we are going to be utilizing our Cricut and our inkjet printer along with a special material called Waterslide decal to make some really, really cute coasters. So let's go ahead and talk about everything that you're going to need for this project. So first off, you are going to have some Waterslide decal paper. Now this is going to be linked down below for you all. We really love the Sunny Scopa brand. This is the Hayes Paper Company. I don't know that I have ever personally used the Hayes Paper Company. We're going to test it out today and I'm going to see how I like it compared to Sunny Scopa, but we'll link both of them down below for you. The next thing that you are going to need is you are going to need travertine tile. Once again, everything that we're using is going to be linked down below for you. This is how the tiles come. This is the back, this is the front, and another little tip for this project, if you are in store picking them out yourself, I would suggest to try your best to stay away from the tile that has like the divots like this. Not saying we can't make it work, because we can, but it is harder to put the Waterslide decal on there without it like punching through and just laying on top. So just be aware of that. This one has one, but it's not as bad. Once again, you can still do it. The only other thing that you are gonna need other than your Cricut and an inkjet printer is we like to just put our little felt pads on the back of our coasters so that they don't like scratch up the table. So you might wanna grab some felt pads to put on the back of that. But other than that, you're gonna need a Cricut mat to put your decal on. Oh, wait just a minute. I forgot one of the most important things when it comes to Waterslide decal, and that is going to be your clear coat. Now, we are using the Krylon Satin Finish Clear Coat. This is the magic to really help make Waterslide decal work. So you are gonna have this. You do need a well-ventilated area. We will go on a journey together. We will do this all together and I will show you exactly how to do that. But those are the materials that you are going to need to make these travertine coasters. And with all of that being said, let's go ahead and dive into Cricut Design Space and let's start getting our designs set up so that we can print and we can actually make this together. Now that we are here in Design Space, the first thing that I'm going to do before I add in the design or the file that I'm going to be using is I'm going to get the measurements of my travertine tile, which should be and is a 4x4 inch tile. So I'm going to come over here to shapes. I'm going to grab a square and I'm going to make this a 4x4 square. And this is going to be representation, or this is going to represent my travertine tile. Just going to change it to kind of like this creamy color, similar to what the tile looks like. Now, it is time for me to upload my design. Now, I've already chosen a design from the Makers Gonna Learn website. So I'm just gonna come over here to upload. I'm going to upload an image, and then I'm going to pull my Finder back into view, come over here, and I think I may play around with a couple different ones. We'll just kind of see what they look like. So One thing I do want to say when it comes to choosing a design for your tile, you need to choose something that is a solid design. You cannot have intricate cuts in this design. It is not going to work out. It just does not look right. So I am kind of just playing around with this to see if I like what it looks like on the tile. And then we can kind of go from there. If I like it, I'll put it on there. If not, I may change something else. So that was one option I had. Let me kind of move it over. Let's go back over here to upload. Let me try another option that I thought would be super cute, which is this little quilted teapot. And I might do it as the SVG so I can change the color if I want to. Hear me out. You can see that it is all in different colors, and I can change these colors with an SVG if I really did want to. But I kind of thought this one would be cute because if you have a coaster, it might be for tea. I don't know. So that's going to be centered there. But you can see all of these images that I have chosen are going to be solid images. Here's another one that I thought might be cute. This is kind of like more my style. May not be your style, but that's perfectly fine. But I thought maybe this one would be cute on it. We might resize it and kind of play around with it. This one comes in very large. See how this one looks. I don't hate that one either. But you can see we have options, and you can see how all of these files are similar, as in they are just one solid shape, no intricate details inside that shape. You get the details from the color. So just make sure when you are choosing a file for your design that you are choosing something that does not come apart in pieces. I actually think I'm just going to go ahead and print all three. Let me move this one in and double check and make sure those colors are fine. You know what? We've got them all sized properly. We no longer need this. I'm just going to go ahead and print all three of them, and we can kind of make our final decision as we are making our tile. And plus, this is all going to be printed on the same piece of watercolor, or the same piece of Waterslide decal. So we can decide after we get it all prepped. Now, I do need to, because I did bring this one in as a PNG, I need to flatten that one together. That way they are all PNGs. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go to make it. I'm putting this on 8.5 by 11 paper. Kind of going to separate them out as well just a little bit to give me a little bit more room. We do not need to turn mirror on for this one because the way that this comes off the paper after you spray it down, it just kind of slides off the way that it is printed. So we do not need to mirror Waterslide decal, but we are going to go to continue, and then we are going to send this to our printer. Now for this project, I am turning the bleed on just because it is color all the way to the edges. So I'm going to leave that bleed on, and then I am going to use System Dialog. Then we're going to click print. I am going to be using the Canon TS9500 series today. I am feeding this from the rear tray. I'm going to go ahead and change this to photo paper and best quality and then print. Okay, now that we are done printing, here is what it looks like. Super, super cute. But we are not going to send this to our Cricut to cut this yet. We must put the Krylon crystal clear matte, whatever top coat you put on it. We've got to do that. So what I'm going to do now is we are going to come over here. I've got my Krylon spray here. We're gonna go, let's go out back. Let's see if we can maybe do this out back. I really don't like doing this in the front of our office. So let's just go back here and see what we got back here. Well, we got some squirrels, some birds. Anyway, here's what I'm gonna do. Y'all, we're not judging the leaves back here. We're doing this in a well-ventilated area. So, with me holding the camera, what I'm doing is we're just taking our Krylon top coat satin finish, and we're gonna give it a good coat. And we're gonna let that sit for 1 minute to 2 minutes, and then we're gonna come back after that dries, and we're gonna repeat this process 3 to 4 times to create a good coat on top of this. So we'll be back after we repeat this process 3 to 4 times. Okay, So I have repeated that process 3 times already. And I want you guys to know you must let this dry. This should not be sticky to the touch at all before you put it into your Cricut. If it is any little bit sticky, you run a risk of gumming up your blade and it not cutting properly. So make sure that this is not sticky at all before you move forward. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and bring you all down here and we're just going to do this together. So what I'm doing now is I'm just lining this up just like you would any other print and cut on your mat. I'm going to take my burnishing tool. I'm going to burnish this down really well onto our mat. And then I'm going to send it to our Cricut. Now I did also make sure if you are doing this, when you do this, if you've manipulated any of your print and cut images, don't cancel the cut because it won't cut properly. So you need to keep that window open. It's a little bit of a back and forth process to get this actually cut and finished. But after we have printed this, added it to our mat, after I have that on my mat, I'm just gonna cut this on the medium cardstock setting on default pressure. Now, while that is cutting, I do have a bowl of just room temperature water here. I'll show you exactly how we use that. I also grabbed some Maker's Magic just to seal this with. Now, this has cut through, and actually my teapot ended up being multiple cuts. It didn't flatten together for some reason, so we're definitely not gonna be able to use that. But I do want to check my cut. And I want to make sure that it went all the way through, and it did. So we're just gonna go ahead and unload so that you can see exactly how this works. So, and this is a really good explanation as to why you don't want, I'm actually really glad that it happened this way. And you can see this one came right off. I'm actually really glad that it kind of happened this way. That way you can understand and know, so this is the one too, why it is important that you choose the right image. So this one did not get flattened altogether. So if we were to put this onto our coaster, we would have to take this part, take it off the back, and then individually add these 2 little pieces. So that's why you want to have one solid image. So what we're doing now is I'm kind of deciding, do I like this one? This one's also pretty. I do think I'm gonna go with this one. So what you're gonna do now, bring you a little closer so you can see the magic happen. So what we're doing is we're taking this and we are just dipping it into our water. You can see how it curls. That's exactly what we want it to do. We're just going to soak it, and then eventually what is going to happen is the Waterslide paper is going to separate from the backer. Also, one thing I like to do is maybe get the little towel wet just a little bit. You can see how it's moving now. So what we can do is we're just placing, you see how we separated? And we're gonna place this down, and it's okay to have extra water. It's actually good, especially if you get wrinkles. Let's go ahead and add some here. Then I'm just going to manipulate this around before it dries to place it where I want it, getting as many of those wrinkles out as possible. One thing is for sure with this, do not be afraid to play around with Waterslide decal. It is not near as scary to work with as I feel like some people may have made it. Because you can see how this one got kind of flipped over on itself. You just gotta keep it wet, okay? We just gotta keep it wet to keep manipulating it and moving it around. But also be careful not to tear it, okay? Beautiful, that's what I was trying to get to. Now that I kind of have it placed exactly where I want it, and you can kind of see that Waterslide decal even went down in that divot, what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to grab a paper towel and I'm going to start dabbing off this water, okay? So it's kind of like when you apply vinyl using the wet method. It's very similar and the results are similar, and when it dries down, it's going to stick and not move to the travertine tile or whatever you place it on. Okay, so once that dries down, we're gonna come back and we are going to seal this with some Maker's Magic. So now that this has dried completely, I'm going to use my Maker's Magic here, and I'm just going to give this a nice even coat to really help seal this onto the tile. Now, one thing I do love about this Waterslide decal paper is the fact that it kind of takes on the actual shape of this tile, and you can see the divots in it. I just think it looks so seamless. I love the way that it looks, but we're just gonna give this a nice coat, and then we're going to set this to the side and let this dry. But y'all, this is our finished product. How stinking cute. Now, I did use matte, so it looks shiny right now, but it's not gonna dry shiny, it's gonna dry matte. So that is it, and that is how easy it is to use Waterslide decal to create your own little personalized tumbler. Now, if it does have a divot in it like this, what I like to do is just add a little bit of extra sealant down in there and make sure I brush those edges out. And there you go. So cute. Oh my goodness, guys. Was that easier or harder than you thought to create your own custom tumblers with Waterslide decals? Let me know in the comments what you thought, if you thought it was easier, if you thought it was harder. I would love to know your thoughts. Also, let me know, what would you put on your coaster? I mean, there are so many amazing files that you can choose from the Makers Gonna Learn website. And if you haven't already, if you're not part of the Makers Gonna Learn family and you haven't checked out that first link, make sure you do that, because we would love to have you inside our community. And if you have enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to our channel, and hit that bell notification so that you can be notified every time we get crafty. Thank you guys so much for being here. I can't wait to see you again, and we'll see you guys in the next one.